Alright guys, so first shots with the new Canik TTI Combat. This is the smoke version, so they're the kind of new colorway they just dropped. It's pretty sweet, looks pretty John Wickish. So see how we do for our first shots. I have pretty high expectations for this.
In the business, we call this foreshadowing.
Bruh.
Are you f***ing kidding me right now? Malfunction?
Instant malfunction. Failure to feed, yeah. Could be a magazine, but that was literally after the first round.
That was one round.
Yeah, so failure to feed right there. Let's try to clear that real quick.
Right,
this is a super premium gun, guys, so that's bound to happen, right?
Drop that slide.
All right, fed that time. Here we go. Besides that first malfunction, it shoots really nice. It's a pretty soft shooting gun. The dot shot really well. I do feel like the slide is a little sluggish when shooting. I'm not gonna lie. It doesn't feel like.
Does it feel like it's bottoming out?
I mean, it kind of feels like, yeah, like it's not coming all the way back. No, I'm not gonna lie. It's like it almost like feel like the slide actuation is a little sluggish with this one right now. It does have the factory spring in there. They did give us another spring to use, I think, for other competition loads, that kind of stuff. But I kind of just figured this one would be more reliable. The comp, I don't really necessarily know if it works or not. There's a pretty small slit there. It's a pretty nice design. The probably only real thing I'd say that's kind of a gripe to me is that the grip texture. It's okay. It's not bad, but it's also not great. It also doesn't go up very high compared to like how it does on like the Canik Mete Prime, I believe. That's a pretty darn good setup. I wish that they brought that towards the Combat as well. That would have been really nice.
All right, here we go. Okay. Malfunction
Failure to
again.
extract. That one's dead.
Failure to extract. Maybe there's a break-in period of this gun. We just got 2 malfunctions already.
First gun we ever had though, where like the first round it just wouldn't run.
Maybe the tolerance is tighter. We don't know.
Stovepipe.
Failed to extract. Oh my god.
Now you double fed it.
I double fed. Self-induced. All right.
Failed to extract.
Whoa.
Why don't you stop limp wristing?
Can you stop limp wristing?
I know.
Jesus. Oh my god, dude.
Here, let me see it. All right, so I did lube prior to us actually shooting this, so a lot of guys out there are gonna probably say it's running pretty dry. It's not, but just for on camera, I'll do it again. So.
Oh yeah, look at that.
I'm about to fuck up this. This thing about to get so dirty after shooting this now. All right, fair enough. Lubed up, right? So, and it still sounds like crunchy a little bit.
I don't know what's up.
Yeah. It's not. That was a failure to feed right there, actually.
Failed to feed? Oh my god.
Yeah, that wasn't even failure to extract.
Watch, guys.
Obviously, it was a failure to extract. It was your fault, obviously. I mean, if I was with a stovepipe. We're just that connected. See how I caught that? Failure to feed again.
Oh my god.
Oh, failure.
Oh, fail.
But that wasn't from lip wristing because.
So, it might. I don't know, is it us?
Look at their website real
This
quick.
is going so well.
Oh, look at that.
Maybe we should use the other spring. We didn't bring the other spring, did we?
We brought the whole case.
Oh, you did? All right, so we swapped in the low power spring that came with the TTI Combat. It says on the instructions that one is made for competition loads. The other one that we just had before is made for factory loads. But let's just see swapping to the competition spring if makes it more reliable for some reason. We are using 115 grain Norma 115 grain Norma rounds. Normal ball ammo here. So we never had issues with it before in other guns. So we're curious to see if maybe this is the reason why it's not running.
Nope.
Whoa!
Did you guys see that?
Yeah,
Look at that hang up.
Did you guys see that? It feels really sluggish.
It's running.
It's running.
See if I get the same amount of malfunctions I did before.
Oh, you see that?
Whoa.
You see that?
Yeah.
It got caught up.
It got caught up again.
I don't know. Out of any comp I've shot so far, like the Radians, the one on my Staccato XC, I feel like this comp really doesn't do that much. Usually you feel like a really hard shove, like push down and return to 0 from comps. This one I feel like it probably helps just a little bit, like almost like, because maybe the slits are so small, like almost like an integral comp. I don't think we want to run this spring, honestly.
Yeah.
We'll try to go back to the other spring. Maybe we'll try a few more rounds, have Zach go. Maybe we can just break it in.
All right, I don't know what happened, what the guys are talking about, but it ran flawlessly for me. Yes, it's running with the stock spring right now.
Wrist, maybe it'll run better.
Maybe I just got, here, let me try this.
One shot.
Perfect.
I guess.
Boom.
I guess we'll all try again.
God damn it. You see the ejection pattern is super weak?
Yeah, it's,
see that?
By shrapnel, actually.
It's like
I was
super
too.
weak.
It's okay. Just stay in the front.
So watch the ejection pattern. It dropped like right
right
here.
here. Look right here.
So
Oh, that one
see
went
that?
left.
See that?
What?
Super weak ejection from this. It's running, but barely.
Maybe we just need to break it or something.
Malfunction. Failure to feed.
Fail to feed.
That's with both mags now. 17 or 18 round, and then the 21 round.
That was smart. Oh, no. Stovepipe.
Stovepipe.
So, I actually was looking at their website and see if anything in the specs say they recommend running 124s or 147s. I didn't find anything, at least based on the website specifications. I didn't look through the actual owner's manual yet, but usually like, even like some of our comp guns, like my Staccato XC, which is a competition gun that definitely runs a lot better if you're running 124s and 147s with like its weak like 8-pound recoil spring, and that runs 115s like 99% of the time. I get like the odd FTE here and there, but this is the most malfunctions we ever had on a gun on our first impressions ever. Not really sure, and it's not looking too good, but we'll try to finish the rest of this video anyway, see if it maybe gets better throughout the rest of the video.
Maybe it's a break-in period, you know? Maybe we'll give it the whole like 500 rounds and see if it gets any better first.
Yeah. All right, so no brand today. I'm actually going to be doing the accuracy test. So we have the Canik TTI, and that is going to be on 115 grade Norma FMJs. So just regular factory ammo, nothing special. Kind of see what kind of groupings we get at 25 yards. All right, 6 shots. So I pulled one, but go ahead and see what those look like.
All right, it's rolling on you.
So downrange at 25 yards, if we look at the target, honestly pretty good grouping at 25 yards. Obviously, if you want to get really deep into it, most of defense cases you won't be shooting this far, but it's good to know that if you did, it'd be pretty accurate. This was done on 115 grade Normas. We didn't have the defense rounds with us today, but as you can see, I did have one little flyer. That's a skill issue, my fault, so not the gun's fault, but honestly about a maybe 2-inch grouping max. Diameter, it seems like, at 25 yards. Pretty solid from the TTI Combat.
As for the specs, the overall length of the firearm is going to be 7.85 inches, the height is going to be 5.87 inches, and the width is going to be 1.41 inches. The Striker Fire polymer frame pistol, chambered in 9mm, has a 4.6-inch barrel length, and it comes in an overall weight of 29.5 ounces. The barrel and sight are both made out of steel with a nitride coating, and MSRP is going to be right at $1,000. So TTI Combat does come with 3 magazines, 2 18-rounders and 1 21-rounder. The special part about this TTI Combat is the fact that we have the new smoke color here. So kind of like you see in those John Wick movies, they have that whole black and bronze barrel going on right here. So as for the lower frame of this gun, it is made out of polymer. Starting at the front here, we have a full Picatinny rail, allowing you to mount any light size you wanted, all the way from the full-size Surefire 300s, all the way down to the TLR7s. Moving back from there, we have the trigger guard. Trigger guard does have some texture up here in the front. If you're one of those people that have issues with your grip, and you like putting your finger up there, it's there for you. One thing you notice here about the trigger guard as well is that it does have a slight double undercut. So when you get your good grip with your primary hand here, your other hand comes in right there, and there is a slight bump right there at the bottom. The trigger guard itself is fairly oversized, so if you have gloves, you probably shouldn't have anything to worry about that. Now onto the grip itself here, we're going to start talking about the grip texture. Grip texture itself is similar to like a sandpaper, but it's very mild. Just by touching it, it really doesn't feel that bad like if you were carrying this. It wouldn't be tearing with your skin by any means, but when you get a good hold of it with your primary hand, it does bite back pretty good. we didn't have any issues with it slipping on us whatsoever. The only thing I will say though, that grip texture is that although it's really nice, it definitely didn't add enough of it. You can see up here, this whole area we always talk about with a lot of other firearms we review on this channel, they simply don't bring it up high enough. So for us to have a high grip like this, that texture is really not doing much because half it's missing up top here. It does come with 3 different size back straps here that you can change out however you wanted. One thing I did also just notice as I was checking this out was that it does have these little grooves here. I didn't really find that actually helped with performance, but I noticed as I put my hand on it here, that groove actually right there from my hand as much as possible, which is kind of a nice little feature. Although, like I said, performance-wise, I didn't notice any real difference behind it there. Something for concealability that they did was they chopped off the beaver tail. Luckily, a lot of new striker fighters coming out nowadays have a beaver tail on a striker fired pistol. That sounds really dumb. Lastly, the TTI Combat did come with a flared magwell here made out of metal. It's a pretty lightweight metal. It feels kind of like aluminum. The coating on it is pretty nice. It matches the gray from the slide there. For a full-size gun, I believe every full-size gun should come with a flared magwell, especially using it for duty or competition. This is a comped gun, so obviously having flared magwell only helps you there.
For the sights, it is going to be a plated system here. So we have the RMR plates with the O-Sight C mounted on top. It does come with 3 plates in the box. It comes with 2 RMSC plates and an RMR plate. The 2 RMSC optic plates are actually going to be plastic, while the RMR plate is going to be metal. I don't know why there's 2 RMSC optic plates. If you guys understand why they have 2 plates for RMSC, let us know. For the iron sights, it does feature the blacked out rears with the green fiber optic sights in the front, and the iron sights does co-witness with the red dots. Talking about the trigger here, it is going to be a bladed flat face safety trigger here. For the trigger press, we'll take out the slack, then we're going to hit a wall, and once you break that wall, very clean and crisp break. Just like that. For the reset, is very short and audible for your next follow-up shots. And for the trigger pull weight, it comes in at about 3 to 3.5 pounds. Something that we did notice about the trigger is that for the bladed safety trigger, you do have to place your finger in the correct spot. We did notice that if you place it a little high, you could have some trouble defeating the safety. So trigger placement is going to be very important for this firearm.
Starting at the front, one of the main features of this gun is that it features a compensator, and the compensator does not actually require you to have a threaded barrel. It actually has a pin setup system similar to what Radiant offers. So if you do live in those states with less freedoms than our state, then you can get one of these and you don't have to worry about it. Moving further back, we have the slide serrations. Slide serrations are kind of misleading. It does have this 2-tone finish where the gray is on the bottom and then it's blacked out on top, but the actual serrations are towards the bottom here where it's grayed out. So if you are going to rack this, you definitely need to grip towards the bottom because that's where the actual aggression is. The window cuts here that you can rack it from here, but those aren't really that aggressive. It does look pretty cool though, because remember, looking cool is half the battle. Otherwise, what's the point of owning this kind of gun? Moving further back, the slide serrations here are also on that similar level of up here. They're somewhat aggressive. They're usable, but definitely not that grippy. So you do have to bite down pretty hard. Last thing on the slide is that it has a chamber indicator. So when you rack one and put one in the chamber, this thing at the top does pop out just a little bit, letting you know that one is locked and loaded and ready to go. But either way, you should be press checking like this anyways, because that for sure will let you know that you do have one in the chamber without second guessing yourself. And the next thing is it has a striker indicator right here in the back. So I'll go ahead and go bang and then rack it again. And there it is. So let you know if your striker primed and ready to go. Moving down to the side controls, it does feature kind of a oversized slide release and lock. So you go here, the whole thing moves up. Even has serrations here, so you kind of get like a grippy feeling on your thumb. To me, I think it fits perfectly. I have no issues hitting it. Also, it is fully ambidextrous over here as well. The mag release is pseudo ambidextrous, and it does feature some little grip textureness there, and it's is really pretty good point of reference, so you know you're hitting that. It's also reversible here as well. Before we get into our final thoughts, a little thing we want to address about the TTI Combat is that we did have some issues with it initially where we were just getting a bunch of malfunctions, and a lot of people in the comments were saying, you know, you're running crappy ammo and all that stuff. We do understand that you have to run hotter ammo with compensators, like running 124s and 147s. However, Canik does not specify if you need to run a certain type of grain, whether that be 115, 124s, or 147s. So we just assumed that 115 grains would work, and It does work for all our other guns, but for some reason with the Canik TTI, the first one we got, it didn't work at all. We do know in the box that Canik actually sends out 2 springs, one for low power and one for high power. We did try both, and both still ended up with malfunctions. And with a low power one, we ended up actually outrunning the gun, where we're actually pressing the trigger, the slide was not returning fast enough when we pressed the trigger. So you can actually see how it kind of hung up on the end. So we sent it back to Canik, and the customer service is actually pretty good. They got back to us pretty quick and sent us out a new one. And now this one actually runs for 15 grains reliably. So we haven't had any malfunctions with the second gun that they sent us. And these issues were persistent on the first iteration of the TTI Combat. And it looks like some of them were able to make it over to a TTI Combat Smoke, but it seems like they do have a solution to fix that. So if you are getting a new Smoke, just be on the lookout for that, but it seems like they have a remedy for the issue. But as for my final thoughts of the Combat Smoke, I think it's a really good gun. It's a little expensive for a Canik, but in terms of shootability and performance, I don't feel like this gun held me back at all. The grip texture is pretty good. Sight serrations could be better, but we honestly barely use that unless we're doing unload starts. In terms of felt recoil, I feel like the comp helped out a little bit. It's nothing crazy. The comp is like pretty slim. I mean, I'm sure that's for reliability and allowing it to run other ammo types just fine. But in terms of the gun's performance, I thought it was pretty solid. Like, the trigger's pretty nice. I think Canik does make some of the best triggers out of the box, actually. Like, super crisp. I like it. No issues there. And then full-size gun with a flared magwell. Come on, guys. It's like 2025. How are we releasing full guns without a flared magwell, man? I mean, these things aren't necessarily made for concealed carry, so there should be a flared magwell on there from factory anyways.
So for my final thoughts, I think the TTI Combat is a really well-performing gun. I do love the compensator on top. We ran mini drills with it here at the range, and I didn't have any issues with the trigger at all with the safety, and I was able to hit the slide release every single time. Just because of how big it is, right? It honestly felt really cool to shoot a TTI, just like John Wick, but I do think it's a solid gun for under $1,000. Besides of all the malfunctions that we had for our first batch that we got, but the second model that we got performed flawlessly.
As for my final thoughts on the TTI Combat, for the price point, this might be the only TTI that I think I'll be able to afford one day, potentially, is because this is usually pretty expensive guns. I'm pretty glad they brought out a Canik version of that, because honestly, Canik does make, like Dominic said, some of the best triggers out there. Very clean and crisp trigger break. That's what I always want. I hate the rolling break firearms. I'm really glad this had that. The safety thing, I did have an issue with my finger being placed a little too high. Like you see right there, I can't feed that safety. Just a little adjustment and I'm good to go. So just a training thing, I was definitely able to get over that fairly quickly, but just something I noticed for the guys out there that have that habit of putting their finger really high on the trigger. As you guys know out there, train that out for sure. But I think for the price point, this firearm has a lot going for it. A lot of competition style additions added into it. While I will say that the comp itself, I think that doesn't work that well. I know that I'm glad they added a comp, but I don't think it works all that great. If I'm comparing it to other comps we found on the channel, like maybe the Radian or even the Park Mount Machine, this comp definitely does not perform as well as those. I'm also happy too that it actually came with a metal optic plate, especially for the RMR for a full-size gun. Why we're getting Arma C cuts for full-size guns is kind of beyond me. But luckily it did come with a metal RMR one, and it was ready literally right out of the box. Would I recommend the TTI Combat to other people out there looking for a firearm around that price range? This is definitely higher up on that list for sure. I definitely recommend this. One more thing to mention too is that the TTI Combat actually is California compliant. They make 10-round versions of this firearm. So guys out there that are maybe living in California, you are still able to get the TTI Combat Canik. Alright guys, that's all for our first impressions on the Canik TTI Combat, the smoke version. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell notification to stay updated with our content, make new videos every single week. Also, if you want to help support the channel, check out our Patreon. If you aren't able to help that way, you can definitely hit that hype button down there to help the algorithm push this video along. Don't forget to get out to the range, stay good, stay good, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Bye!